Why, hello everybody, and welcome to Friday. It is the Go F.O.C. Yourself show. My name is Brandon, and here we talk about all the good things that are on final order cutoff for retailers and for customers alike. So shortly we're going to get into the nitty gritty. Things right off the top are our rules. Of course, first, we're going to be focusing on stories first and collecting second. That's really important to us in terms of how we approach our show and our system. We like to make sure that instead of going over each and every little minute cover, which would take forever, talking about things that people are going to connect with story-wise. There's a lot of places that you can go to get the details on specific covers, specific first appearances, and various investment opportunities, but that is not here. You're all very welcome to go and find those resources. Rule number 2, helpful information is always welcome here. If you got something that you want to say, please comment on wherever you're watching this live. And if you're not watching this live, I can't pop up the comments. That's not how time works. But otherwise, if you got something helpful to say or to ask, we will pop that up and we'll answer either your query or we will pass along the information. Rule number 3, unhelpful information will not be acknowledged unless you address me as Comics Daddy, and maybe not even then. That's to keep things rolling and because I think it's funny. And rule number 4, don't be a ding-dong. Basically, don't be a ding-dong. It's pretty simple. With that, we're going to start things up here. I spent the morning doing a whole lot of meetings and errands. So I had breakfast at around 3, about half hour ago, a little bit. So my day's all hinky, and gonna try and get through this a little bit quicker than usual. Boom, final order cutoffs, baby. Zoop, zoop, zoop. Okay. So kicking off with Image. There's a second print of Ant number 12 that just came out. That wraps, Ant number 12 wrapped up a series that came out a long time ago. Eric Larson bought the rights to the character and kind of proceeded with it. This is the end of that main arc before it goes on to a new series coming out in August. If you like the Eric Larson art and storytelling style, that's going to be right up your alley. Bliss, the collected edition, is coming out, which is very exciting. We've got from Sean Lewis and Caitlin Yarsky. Caitlin Yarsky is taking over the art for Black Hammer Reborn, which is very exciting. And here, there's a drug called Bliss wiping away memories in Feral City, but a good-hearted young man with a deathly sick child makes a horrible deal. He will become the hitman for the gods, providing the drug and possibly lose everything in the process. A critically acclaimed examination of forgiveness and family that's rarely seen in comics. This is one of our favorite books that we read, and very cool to see it collected all in one volume. Apparently final orders. What is this? Final orders are due December 31st, 2039 for release on July 21st. So be aware, you have almost all of the time in the world to get this going. And into your face holes. Yeah. Okay, good. Let's see what I'm doing. Well, that's going to be annoying if it keeps doing that. Geiger number 3 is getting a second printing. That series has been selling quite well from Jeff Johns and Gary Frank. As well as what else we got here? Sorry. Oh yeah, Martha Vallis looks really, really cool and super, super weird. I was able to read this a little bit early thanks to a preview PDF, and it is absolutely gorgeous. During a skirmish with an opposing Martian faction, a fighter pilot disobeys orders to pursue a fleeing foe. Guided by her determination and curiosity, she is led into a dangerous chase through Mars's Forbidden Valley, where she is confronted with the Red Planet's darkest secrets. A fast-paced 128-page, full-color, pocket format sci-fi adventure from through Mars mysteries, all told in its original Martian form, which is to say, the language is as you see here. So unless y'all speak this, and I know I don't, you're not really going to get what the words are saying, but you don't really need to know what the words are saying. This is a highly kinetic read full of action and great imagery. I really, really enjoyed it. Nocturnes is getting some subsequent printings for folks who missed out on issue 2 and 3. Issue 5 is hanging out on this previews. Ordinary Gods, issue 1 from Kyle Higgins. And a whole bunch of artists popping up in here. Or at least listed here. I do not think that is 100% accurate, but we will find out. Yeah, the credits say otherwise. For the fans of the Old Guard and God Country comes in extra length first issue of a century-spanning action epic from writer Kyle Higgins from Radiant Black and artist Felipe Watanabe from The Flash. The Luminary, the Prodigy, the Brute, the Trickster, the Innovator, 5 gods from a realm beyond our own, leaders in the War of Immortals, or at least they were before they were. Trapped and sent to a planet made into a prison, forced into an endless cycle of human death and reincarnation. Christopher is 22. He's got 2 loving parents and a 12-year-old sister. He works at a paint store. He's in therapy. He's one of the 5, which means in order to save everyone he cares about, Christopher will have to reconnect with his past lives and do the unthinkable, become a god again. Pretty cool. Hey. I just realized that we can click through on some of these and get a little bit of some insides since they are public informations. So that's going to be what we're looking at here. Skybound, number 1, features the return of the Walking Dead, kind of, sort of. Celebrate a sensational 10 years of Skybound with a cavalcade of your favorite creators and all new stories of your favorite series, past, present, and future. Each issue of this oversized weekly series will kick off with a new chapter of a serialized Walking Dead story. Rick Grimes, 2000. A little bit of an explanation of that. I believe this is a follow-up to, there was a joke in that Kirkman had put in Walking Dead in the early days of the letters pages, stating that after he got to a certain point, he would introduce aliens. And when that issue came up in the back pages in full color with Ryan Otley art, he did that. This is a continuation of that fake story, more or less. And that's going to run through every single issue. It's going to be super weird. It's going to be super wild. And also what we're seeing here is, as it says here, we'll be debuting all new series and characters in every issue, starting with the first appearance of the most requested Walking Dead character of all time, Clementine, the star of the best-selling Telltale's The Walking Dead video game series. Also, there's going to be a new Ultra Mega and Manifest Destiny story. They also have, doing that Clementine story, Tilly Walden, which is huge. I know a lot of single-issue focused comic folk won't really know who Tilly Walden is, but Tilly Walden is a monster in the graphic novel industry. She tells absolutely outstanding stories, from spinning to what's her space one? That's gonna bug me. And somewhat recently, she did a 2000 AD story, which was really interesting. And speaking of Tilly Walden, On a Sunbeam is the space one. We have a collection of some of her stories coming in that we will have an exclusive dust jacket and bookplate for. So that's going to be really freaking cool. As you can see, there's different covers for there, featuring the various stories and creators here. some Ultra Mega and the Tilly Walden with some Charlie Adler thrown in there as well. Stray Dogs is getting a new print run of all of the issues with new homage covers. They're looking pretty freaking slick. There's a new Hellboy in BPRD. Everybody knows how Hellboy goes these days. You like your Hellboy? There's some more Hellboy. And some tie-ins to some gaming properties, Dragon Age collection, and a Cyberpunk 2077 graphic novel. Masters of the Universe Revelation kicks off. Here it has a Magnolia cover, or as an old customer of mine would say, Magnolia, no matter how many times you corrected him. This is based off the upcoming Netflix TV show. And the comic is written by executive producers Kevin Smith and Rob David, with episode writer Tim Sheridan, and featuring art from Mindy Lee, who did Crimson Lotus. Very cool. So getting a little taste of what's to come, basically. An exclusive prequel. Nocturnals Omnibus is coming out. I love the Nocturnals. And it Dan Brereton kind of pops in and out of the industry every now and then. But the art looks all like this cover on the inside. It is absolutely gorgeous. Nocturnals revolves around a mysterious quest of the underworld enforcer and occult figure Doc Horror, his supernaturally gifted daughter Evening, aka Halloween Girl, who carries a pumpkin full of haunted toys, the Gun Witch, a silent two-gun revenant with an itch to kill monsters, the Lysum Wraith Polychrome, and a host of hard-boiled inhuman players battling hidden evils lurking on the outskirts of human knowledge. It'll be very great to be able to have those in print again, because I love me some Nocturnals. IDW has a new Disney project here. From the best-selling author of The Strange Case of the Origami Yoda comes an original graphic novel adventure featuring all of your favorite Disney characters. Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Daisy, Uncle Scrooge, and all of their friends are contestants on a reality TV show called Doorways to Danger. As they scramble to be the first to collect the magical keys that lead them to their prizes, their grinning game show host might have plans of his own. And what are Pete and Trudy up to? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Cling. And that's the only really new thing that they have, although we have the Last Ronin second printing for issue 3 hanging out here, which is pretty cool. A lot of folks really excited about those. The Amazing Spider-Man annual number 2 is hanging out here. As I've been telling people, this is not written by the main writers, so we don't tend to cross-reference unless someone has noted that they like all Amazing Spider-Man and would like the annuals as well. This is taking part in the Infinite Realities crossover that's been happening. Or not Infinite Realities. What does it say here? Infinite Destinies. Yeah, baby. That's been happening, and we'll refeature Star, a character first introduced in Captain Marvel that folks super liked. Otherwise, we have Extreme Carnage Alpha number 1 by Philip Kennedy Johnson and Manuel Garcia. Violence runs in the family. As the dust continues to settle after the species redefining King in Black saga, Eddie Brock and his son Dylan won't be the only ones learning to adjust to a new normal. Collectively called the Life Foundation, symbiotes Scream, Phage, Riot, Lasher, and Agony have tried to reconcile the sometimes noble intentions of their hosts with their often bloodthirsty impulses. But the Life Foundation symbiotes aren't the only ones with a part to play in the story, and they aren't the only symbiotes who find themselves reinvented after King in Black. They have an older sibling who may be reinvented in his own right, Carnage. That wild bitey boy, Carnage, you freaking scamp. There's, of course, many much covers Some connecting covers of Scotty Young to boot and Lineal U wraparound. There's a Marvel's Voices collection that collects a couple Marvel Voices one-shots that were out. Inspired by the acclaimed podcast series Marvel Voices, new and established creators and artists share their unique perspectives on legendary characters including Black Panther, Stormblade, Ironheart, Luke Cage, Spectrum, Shuri, Dr. Voodoo, Nick Fury, and the Blue Marvel. It's a dizzying array of adventures that will inspire and uplift. Plus, the opening chapter of Ta-Nehisi Coates' revolutionary Black Panther epic and the sensational first meeting of Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur and the stunning gallery of Hernanda Souza's Black History Month variant covers are all located in here. So some bonus stories as well. The Larry Hama penned Iron Fist series gets a collected edition. This was a very fun book with him and Dave Wachter. After this epic adventure, the Iron Fist will never be the same. There are 8 heavenly cities, of which Kunlun is one. Each city has a dragon that is the manifestation of its chi. But now someone has gathered an undead army to attack each of the heavenly cities, kill their dragons, and collect their hearts, thereby stealing their chi. Danny Rand and his Kunlun partner Fu must manifest these cities on Earth and conscript other heroes to help hold back the undead hordes. And the action soon spreads across the globe from Brazil to Japan to Wakanda. Who will rise up and join the fight to save the dragons and stop the mysterious force bent on destroying the heavenly cities forever? You'll have to read to find out. Very excited for the Spider-Man Life Story hardcover to show up eventually. Looks like our orders are due very soon here. Something to keep an eye out are things like this. When Diamond says, hey, it's final order cutoff. Y'all will want to double check with Penguin. There was one on last week, the Captain Britain Omnibus. That will be coming out in December. When I stated that there was no listing on their site for it to order, they said it was actually going to be in an upcoming previews to order. So if you're not seeing these things through Penguin, they will be available to order. Diamond is not sure exactly what they're up to. But I know I will be getting a far better deal on my Marvel product from Penguin Random House. So be aware of the dates. If it says October or later, you will be able to get these through Penguin Random House, whether or not the orders are up already. This is Diamond doing a Diamond thing. So be extremely careful with how you're doing those orders. A lot of folks big on the facsimile editions. I know there's been a huge run on them lately. This is a reprinting of the first appearance of Moon Knight. So please be aware of that one. I have a lot of pre-orders for this already in multiple quantities. Definitely order up on this, especially when Moon Knight is coming closer and closer and closer to coming out. A good stack of this would be a good thing to have. Orders for X-Men #1 are due. A little sad that we have to guess at some of the direction because of Planetsized XMen coming up next week, featuring the new creative team. But Jerry Duggan is taking over the X-Men, and from the success of Marauders, which for us anyways has been the second best-selling X-Men book besides X-Men, this should be fine. The heroes are in good hands. The heroes of Krakoa are here to save the planet. Things might be complicated between the nation of Krakoa and the rest of the world, but to the X-Men, things are simple. You do what's right. You protect those who need protecting, and you save the world we all share. Cyclops, Marvel Girl, Sunfire, Rogue, Wolverine, Synch, and Polaris are the chosen champions of mutant kind, and they will not shrink from any battle for their home planet. Writer Jerry Duggan and reteams with superstar artist Pepe Larraz to chart the course of the X-Men in the world of the Reign of X. And then again, whole bunch of covers, baby. Dynamite, once again, doing the things that Dynamite do. Many, many, many covers. Also, we have the Red Sonja Black and White and Red series popping up. It is the anthology style like you see with Batman Black and White and Marvel's Black, White, and Blood series. But here, you're going to get some Kurt Busiek, some Ben Dewey, some Amanda Debert, some Cat Staggs, and Mark Russell, baby, and Bob Q returning to Red Sonja. I love that run of Red Sonja. All right. Boom, boom. There'll be a new printing of the third Magic the Gathering issue. That's been really good. Mamo. Oh boy, I am very excited for this one. The art is absolutely stunning in this book. Boom Studios is proud to showcase the incredible artistic vision of Asas Miladij. Can Orla O'Reilly embrace her destiny in order to bridge the divide between humanity and the fairy world? Orla, the youngest in a long line of hedge witches, finds herself pulled back to her hometown after the death of her grandmother, Mamo. Without Mamo managing magical relationships between the town folks and the Fae, the seas are impossible to fish, the crops have soured, and Joe Manalo's attic has been taken over by a poltergeist. Now Orla and Joe will be pulled into worlds they never wanted to be a part of. Can two girls work together to save the town? Acclaim. It's going to be very cool, and I'm very excited to read a lot more of it. The WWE Comics return with The New Day. Going through who are the New Day. Very excited for this one. Because the Boom Studios WWE Comics have been absolutely outstanding. Tie-in comics to wrestling have a very checkered history, and having Booms around was a treat, and I'm glad that there's more of them now. Action Lab has a new book out from Art Balthazar, he of Tiny Titans fame. The galaxy is in turmoil. Alien planets are at war. The fate of the universe is uncertain. But somewhere amongst the fighting is a glimmer of hope, a beacon of love. Can forbidden love between new natural-born enemies save the universe? Nix and Vera think so. Their future may be the key to saving their planets and end the war, unless their dads are left to decide the outcome. And it's not looking good. A wordless tale of love and romance and outer space war meets Romeo and Juliet with galactic proportions. Got Clans of Bellari. Primary laws of the Bellari system. No person or clan may exit the system. No person or clan may do the designated work of another clan. Clans may not merge. Any person that breaks a primary law shall be made outcast. On the far side of the galaxy, an isolated branch of humanity is trapped in a feudal dystopia. Order is maintained by a system of oppression until an orphan girl and her incorrigible adoptive father sow the seeds of a revolution and unite the clans against a fearsome alien threat. From Rob Blackie and Peter Blackie, creators and writers of Netflix historical action adventure series Frontier, and artist Daniel Main, comes a big sci-fi adventure. I wish there was some preview pages here. That would be nice. But, you know, can't win them all, sadly. The premiere of Fight Girls is happening. It is a complete Frank Cho joint here. 10 hard as nails women face off in an ancient contest of champions where the winner truly takes all. The title of Queen of the Galaxy. To win the challenge, each contestant must survive the hazards of the planet's harsh landscape, the ferocious predators on and below its surface, and their fellow contestants. This edition of the contest has one twist. One of the contestants is an infiltrator who has an eye on something bigger than the prize. Who is she, and what does she really want? Freud from SelfMade Hero. I love SelfMade Hero. They put out some absolutely gorgeous books. In 1909, while on a fundraising lecture tour in America, Sigmund Freud met Horace Frink, an early disciple of his theories of psychoanalysis, whose traumatic childhood and complicated personal life later cast a shadow over Freud's professional career and came close to destroying his reputation. This little known and ultimately tragic true story of two divorcees, three deaths, and a maggia quattro, as well as the questionable motives behind Freud's involvement in it, is the subject of a groundbreaking collaboration between artist and animator Lionel Richard and the prize-winning philosopher, biographer, and novelist Pere Perju. Pretty freaking cool. I'm actually excited for this Jonah and the Unpossible Monsters one drawing board edition. It is going to be a huge, oversized, black and white presentation that is going to be really, really cool. I know some of our artist folk have definitely put this on order already. Life is Strange coming home #1. The newest Life is Strange series. Very cool. The series has done incredibly well for us in store, and you know what? I can't see it not doing quite well again as it continues on here. Miskatonic Volume 1 from Mark Sable and Giorgio Pontrelli. Miskatonic Valley holds many mysteries, cultists worshipping old gods, a doctor dead set on resurrecting the recently deceased, a house overrun by rats in the walls, but none more recent than a series of bombings targeting the Valley elite. These horrors reach a breaking point when the brilliant, hard-nosed investigator Miranda Keller is sent to stop the bombings. To J. Edgar Hoover, there can be no other explanation than those responsible for similar actions during the Red Scare of the 1920s. But when Miranda digs too deep, she uncovers an unimaginable occult conspiracy, one that may cost Miranda her job and her sanity. Monday issue 1. It's a Rivers of London story from Ben N. Aronovich. That series has been really good for folks of the Prose books. We've been selling many of the graphic novels to them, which is really freaking cool. Nottingham is getting more printings to keep up with folks' demand. 5th print of issue 1, 4th print of issue 2, 3rd print of issue 3, 2nd print of issue 4. Just counting them in reverse, basically. Orcs in Space 2 and 1 for fans of your Ricks and your Mortys. Justin Roiland is one of the creators of this one. And I believe reprints some self-published stuff. Double issue debut, Gore, Kravis, and Monkter are 3 orcs trying to survive while on the run from everything and everyone on their homeworld. When the naive bureaucrats from the Starbleep land on their planet, the orcs unwittingly steal the most advanced ship in the fleet and blast into the dankest reaches of the Adder Galacticon. Now the universe's most wanted, the orcs befriend the ship's AI, Jonah, in a bid to get free. But will that be enough to escape Starbleep? Maybe. There's a Sublime graphic novel, The Band, from Ryan Cady and Various. It's like Audrey Mock, Alex Diotto, Hayden Sherman, Logan Farber. Ooh, from Numwolf. Hell yeah. Oh, I love that dude's art. Alongside Rising Stars. Very cool. Celebrate the sounds of SoCal's favorite sons with this original Sublime graphic novel. Xanadu meets Superbad in this heartfelt anthology of Sublime legends, brought to life by Ryan Cady. Very weird and cool. Z2, or Z2, as we would say up here, has put out some really cool stuff for folks who are fans of all types of music. All right, let's get to Lunar. Lunar. What message? Who's sending me a message? Was it important? Tell me, was it important? Oh no, it's all good. All right, for this one, we do need to differentiate because there are two various bits. These ones will be the stuff due at Lunar on Sunday. Got some new Batman coming out for you. The Batman Fortnite 0-point hardcover. If folks get this, they get all of the codes that folks have been collecting for the game. You get it in that nice hardcover. Pretty cool. Batman Secret Files, The Signal, #1, featuring the return of Tony Patrick to The Signal. He co-wrote the Signal miniseries with Scott Snyder. Talking about how Duke's doing these days in Gotham City, which is going to be pretty cool. I love that the Secret Files are happening to go over some of the smaller characters. Some more Batman adventures continue happening there. These are all the Dark Knight's death metal soundtracks are all going to be heavily allocated, so please be aware of that. This one I'm not sure will be coming up to our store in Canada because it is a Lunar exclusive. I might just try and put one in anyways, just to see what happens, but we'll see. Gods of Brutality, #1. In 2020, rock god Nick Dillon will step off the stage for the final time, ending his 37-year career as the head of the metal band Gods of Brutality. They're about to release their final album, complete the story that he set out to tell 37 years before. And in his final interview, Nick reveals that when he died for a minute and 24 seconds in 1984, he was actually in hell, where he was tortured by demons. In an act of desperation, Nick prayed to any god that would listen, and thankfully his pleas were answered when Thor and Hercules were dispatched to save him. This comic is a telling of that story. Justice League Infinity #1 is going to be in the style of Batman The Adventures Continue. This takes place after the events of the Justice League television show that was very popular. The Justice League Unlimited television show with producer and series writer James Tucker and J.M. DeMatteis telling a new season of stories. Very cool. Locus 1 is getting a second print alongside issue 2, which is going to be good. Lunar Ladies is popping out. A million years ago in outer space, a highly advanced society of women lives under the surface of the moon. Their peaceful way of living is quietly fractured from the inside as political ideologies pit the Queen of the Moon against a geneticist hellbent on usurping the Queen's power. The Lunar Ladies is a homage to the public domain character Moon Girl, complete with Golden Age ray guns and laser rays. Pew pew! Murder Hobo Chaotic Neutral is coming out. It is basically a filthy series, adventure series. So as it says here, what happens when you cross a violent, drunken, baby-making demon with a pixie dust addict? You get Murder Hobo Chaotic Neutral. In the lands of high adventure, where brave warriors seek out fame and fortune, the unlucky few will recruit a murder hobo into their ranks. Follow the further exploits of Roddy the Rotten, Big Mama Venus, and Spectre Liaison as they team up with and ruin the plans of every adventurer they come across. This series also launches a new collection of tales featuring the frothy pimp daddy, Lord Froth, and his army of undead gigolos. Yeah, that's what this book is. So keep an eye out for that stuff. Nice House on the Lake #2 coming out. No Ghost for Hiroshima. Dr. James Henriksen is racked with guilt because of a mistake he made many years ago. He believes he has unwittingly condemned an innocent soul to eternal suffering and pain. And in an attempt to set things right, he has worked for years to invent a way to free his soul from hell. But Henriksen's efforts have stirred demonic attention by those who see this as a way to seize power in hell. Chased by these demons, Dr. Henderson is badly injured and is forced to hand over his discoveries to his prized pupil, a medical intern named Dr. Gabriel Oldman, imploring him to deliver a briefcase to an old friend before it's too late. Enjoy the first issue of this non-stop title, followed by the entire story collected soon after in one volume. I do love the non-stop concept. Give you a taste of issue 1 and let you grab the whole series if you so wish. And I'm pretty sure, last couple things, Tart Acid was just like one of them, a frightened soul learning that hell exists and that she should play a part in protecting Earth's history from demonic intervention. Now she is the guide for 3 new recruits, explaining how her band of time-traveling demon hunters ended up risking their mortal souls to stand against the forces of hell. Come along with us as some of the mysteries of the toxic universe are revealed in Tart Toxic Origins. And Unearthed, Jessica Cruz story. Acclaimed author Lilian Rivera and artist Steph C. reimagine one of DC's greatest Green Lanterns, Jessica Cruz, to tell a story about immigration, family, and overcoming fear to inspire hope. Jessica Cruz has done everything right. She is a dedicated student, popular among her classmates, and has a loving family that has done everything they can to give her a better life in the United States. Jessica usually worries for her undocumented parents, but her fears and anxiety escalate as a mayoral candidate with a strong anti-immigration stance runs for office. As the xenophobia in Coast City increases, Jessica begins to debate if it's worth staying in the US or moving back to her home in Mexico. And despite her attempts to lean on her friends and her family, she finds herself constantly visited by visions of Aztec gods, one pulling her towards hope and the other towards anger. But when her father is detained by ICE, Jessica finds herself being pulled into the abyss of anxiety. Despite feeling helpless with her father, Jessica must find her way out of her fears and ultimately become a voice for her community. All right, and before we go, it is time to do the universal orders. This is the stuff that's due for my store next week because we have an earlier F.O.C. date. Ba-ba-boom. A lot of some older school stuff here. So things to look at if you are haven't subscribed to a series that you want. Please let us know ASAP. The Cherry Blackbird #1 second printing is hanging out here. The Conjuring #1 second print also here. Looks like it's got a version of the 1 in 25 variant there. The Deathstroke by Christopher Priest omnibus. Heck yeah. Oh, that was such a good run. An amazing run. Gotham City Monsters, the collection finally showing up. Infinite Frontier. We're ordering issue 2 before issue 1 shows up. That's because it's double shipping, baby. It's going to ship fast, which sucks, but that's the way that folks run their... What's the word I'm looking for? Big crossovers, event crossovers. Boy, howdy. Joker #5 is going to take a step away from the current ongoing tale. Features some Francesco Francavilla art doing a year 1 style story with the Joker. So be aware of that for folks who are just like, hey, what's going on here? You can tell them what's going on here. Shit Show gets their collection. Bellum destroyed Legends Legion Earth and All We Knew. Ooh. I read that a little bit wrong, but it is a little bit of a mess. This thrust the hero, formerly known as Legend, onto the circuit, and all was well as a drunkard can be, of course, until Balaam returned. The Magnificent McCoys versus Balaam the Feared. Surely nothing can go wrong. when it's the fan, right? Collects all 3 issues of the Scout Comics series, including never before printed encyclopedia. I keep forgetting I got a button for that. Stanley the Snowman, a nice, beautiful all ages story. Cool down from the summer heat with an uplifting Christmas in July special. Jenny Rose is a bit of a loner. She's not into dolls and the latest cell phones or the coolest games. She loves spending time with her family and learning about their traditions from her grandfather. He passes on to her a secret ritual that only one family member in a generation can do, bringing Stanley the Snowman to life. Stanley is a magical snowman, the embodiment of the holiday spirit and their family history. After months of preparation, the night finally arrives, but things don't go exactly as planned. Enjoy the first issue of this non-stop title, followed by the entire story collected soon after in one volume. Speaking of giant volumes, Starman Compendium is coming out. I'm very excited about this. This will help collect all of Starman in 2 volumes for the first time in a long time. I know they didn't get around to collecting it all in soft cover after the hardcovers came out. Well, now it will hopefully happen. Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow #1 is actually going to be on shelves this week. I'm very excited. It's in some boxes. It's next to me over here. Picked up some boxes to process, bring back to the store. And Superman Son of Kal-El #1 is happening, with Tom Taylor taking over the regular Superman title alongside Jonathan Kent and artist John Timms. Jonathan Kent has experienced a lot in his young life. He's traveled the galaxies with his Kryptonian grandfather and lived in the future with the Legion of Superheroes, who were intent on training him for the day that his father, Clark Kent, could no longer be Superman. There's a hole in the Legion's history that prevents John from knowing exactly when that will happen, but all signs point to it being very soon. It's time for the son to wear the cape of his father and bear the symbol of hope that has told the world who Superman really is. Join writer Tom King and artist John Timms as they usher in a whole new era for the House of El. The Sweet Tooth Return collection appears as well. That's going to be exciting for folks who enjoyed the original series and are waiting for the graphic novel, or have enjoyed the TV series and already have grabbed the original series. I would read that before the return. We Don't Kill Spiders, something that Danica would disagree with heavily. In the early Viking Age, a faithless Norseman detective is summoned to a Scandinavian hamlet where a series of murders have occurred. Discovering the dark and bloody history of the village, he investigates the local outcast, necromantic witch who brings his atheistic values to question. Determined to prevent further homicides, and the two band together to discover the identity of a serial killer. And with that, we're wrapping up this week. Thank you all for watching, whether it's live, whether it's later. We do appreciate it. And we hear a lot from our locals who find this very helpful. I'm grateful to do this for you. I like making sure people get information, and good actionable information that they can get their comics so that they're not missing anything. Single issues can be a trick to get a hold of, especially these days. So yeah, thank you all for watching, and we will see you all here again next week. Bye.
Oh, baby.